previous 30 seconds or if it's going to cut in and out somewhere. But I do see one person with Japanese writing, which I cannot read, sitting alone, mouthful of gum in the driveway. Friends aren't far. In the back of my car lay their bodies. What? Nani? I thought that the chat would get grouped and all be on screen because it's going through. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if like both chats are on the screen or not. Or maybe it's just like YouTube that doesn't want to see the Twitch chat on the screen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The VOD is going to be on YouTube, so the YouTube chat will be visible on YouTube, and on the screen you can probably see the Twitch chat, which will disappear after 60 days. So 60 days isn't that bad, to be honest. Like a VOD for 60 days. Imagine if they were trying to hold everyone's VODs, it would just explode. That's actually what's happening to a lot of old streams on YouTube. The audio actually goes out of sync on the stream VODs. It's actually really bad. And they're like, oh, your audio's out of sync. It's like, well, it's been fine for like 5 years, and now it's going out of sync, and YouTube won't fix it. So, you know. By the way, 3.4, we don't start with the quest. It is so confusing to navigate the maze that is the story of HSR because it is just so... What is the next thing? And half the stuff is optional and hidden. It's just, it is a maze. It is absolute chaos for someone playing it by themselves that wants to do it in chronological order, especially with all the spoilers and shit everywhere. It is impossible. As a single player game to enjoy, Hoyo gets an F because it is just impossible. It's a Billie Eilish song. Ah! Doesn't Billie Eilish get her brother to write the songs? And she just sings them. We start, have you ever visited March on her room since at 4? No, I haven't. But we did visit her at the end last time. We visited her when we finished the last stream because something was about to happen, or like she was still an ice cube, or she was more of an ice cube. I don't know. Maybe she's missing now. Maybe. Maybe she goes missing. Or maybe that's like the name of a quest or something. I don't know. Oh god, playing on the big screen is different. Blady. Alright, travel log. Oh, that's the travel log. Sorry, my bad. Mission. And I think I go here. Another one, same one. Hero Crimson Call. Alright, teleport to the bug boss. Huh? Sorry, am I looking for a mission? Or am I literally like going to March's room? It's a bit confusing when you put it in quotation marks. No question. Oh, okay. And we got the Tanukis behind us. Cool. So you want me to go to the bug boss, or you want me to go to March? Like, you gotta pick one. Just teleport to the bug boss area? You mean on Herta's ship in the basement? Who the hell would do that at random? You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Who would in the middle of a story just go to Herta's space station in the basement? Absolutely no one. Since Amphoreus started, Herta has been investigating. I know we did that little Herta thing, so you want me to interact with Herta and shit. Okay. Her logs are there. Oh. I mean, why would I suspect that? Okay, so this is closest to the bug boss. Bug boss is here, so I can sort of like... just here, I guess. Yeah, it's here, in the basement. I wasn't trying to up-skirt Lingsha. I was just, like, here in the basement. Get in the Ava, Shinji! No, this is literally from Evangelion what it looks like. The Evangelion goes up like a 45 degree like that, and then it just gets shot up. Get in the Ava, Shinji! By the way, my mate that hated Firefly, he bought the schoolgirl skin. I'm like, I thought you hated Firefly. It's like, no, she's meta again. And I'm just like... She was always meta, you asshole. You just needed E2. Check for things there. Oh, no! No! Wait, why would the logs be down there? Next to the bug. Shouldn't they be in, like... No, but shouldn't they be, like, in one of these rooms or something? You mean around the bug on the ground? Are you serious? They left logs in that area? Why? I thought it would be in like one of the rooms where the desks are and the computers and the tables and the stuff. Does Herta just sit on the floor writing notes? Tanuki simp. I'm half tempted to just like wait for Darth Maul to appear. This is like the blast door, right? It opens up and you have Darth Maul. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, that'd be freaking epic. So you want me to go back to the bug boss, right? That can be done. On the ground. I don't exactly see anything. Because if there is, it's like kind of really hidden. Oh, here. Is this the one? Okay, can I be fair, guys? There is absolutely nothing to indicate that there is anything here. There's nothing shiny. There's no question mark. There's no exclamation mark. There's like nothing to tell me that there is going to be something here that is a quest. And then you walk like here and this appears. Let's be fair. If I was playing by myself and I physically walked down here to kill this boss on a weekly basis, like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't find it. Wait. See, even you don't know what it is. See the problem? It'd be nice if they just, like, laid it out in chronological order. This. I'm right. Ah, okay. See, the thing is, everyone's using a different screen name on Twitch, on YouTube, on Discord, on social media. And it's just like, who is this person? You should have text from Astral Express. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. I have not exactly been answering my messages. A text from whom? Like, I am the worst. I've probably got like 100 pulls worth of fucking messages. I mean, I got Clara like fucking months ago, right? I got Mosey like from the Astral Express family. You know, I was actually surprised to learn that people have group chats with their family and shit. That's weird to me. But then again, I don't exactly... Yeah. Is this the one? March 7's condition. Sounds about right. Hi, everyone. The train car that entered Amphoreus is still out of contact. People actually do this? Wow. I really have been socially deprived by people. No wonder I turned into an introvert when I was born an extrovert. Jesus. I've been abused as a child. Lovely. March 7's condition also seems to be getting worse. Can you read this message? The world is doomed. I love how everything is super serious and critical and we're just being an idiot. The world is doomed. Himiko, well, come save me. Amphoreus is doomed. How's the situation on yours? You see, you know what this tells me? You know what this tells me? Someone's blocking us from sending messages. We're able to receive data, but we're not able to send it. We've got inbound. We don't have outbound. We're connected to whatever is the equivalent of the internet in HSR. I'm just going to go with magic. And someone's blocking it. That's what this tells me. How's the situation on your end? Things are going well so far. Herta invited Skrullum to assist us, and we have a detailed chat in the seclusion zone. I am still shocked that Skrullum doesn't exist as a character. They don't have to be playable, but they talk this man up so much, and yet we have not seen him in combat. But to be fair, Herta has only just recently been put in combat. But also, to be fair, at the start of HSR 3.0, she was like the first banner for Amphoreus, and like she did nothing, you know, as a character in the story, playable-wise, till like 3.3. So they put her in there as a playable character, but like she was in the background. What up? Anyway, I don't know. Make Skrullum a playable character, goddammit. Unless they're waiting for him for the Intellitron Empire with the machines and shit. In which case it would make sense. But like, come on, man, make him playable. And Polka Kakamon, man, she's gonna be freaking, that boss is just gonna be fucked. It's gonna be fucked. Has anyone seen Ghost in the Shell? Without spoiling anything, Polka Kakamon is always hiding her face. A little bit like the hacker in Ghost in the Shell. So when you're fighting her, if you're relying on tech, you're basically screwed. So if you're like Firefly or Silverwolf or anyone that relies on tech, your tech's just going to start glitching out while you're fighting her. And it's going to become totally useless. And so people using technology are basically screwed. And then the people that have innate ability are going to be the only people that can fight. So, like, Himiko's going to use her briefcase to get a giant chainsaw. It's just going to malfunction. I mean, she can, of course, try to beat Polka with the briefcase, but it's not going to engage like it should, right? And that would be such a neat concept where, like, half of the characters that you have, you simply cannot use because this boss disables their ability to fight properly. That would be such a unique concept. It's a little bit too much for Hoyo to execute, but I think it would be really cool. That's just me. That's just me. Anyway, back to it. Things are going really well so far. Herta invited Skrullum to assist us, and we had detailed chat in the seclusion zone. Welt's new voice is tripping me out because I missed the old one. Both geniuses contributed with their knowledge. Now we're closer to clearing up the surrounding mystery surrounding Amphoreus. I love how it was like both geniuses. I love how it was just like stroking their ego in case Herta's reading the chat. Making sure to compliment them just in case they're reading the fucking chat. Welt, I know what you're up to, you bastard. I know what you're doing. You paranoid motherfucker. However, there's a lot of unexpected information. It's hard to explain everything in a text message, which means you don't want Herta and Skrullum to read it. I'll send you the meeting notes as a video right now. Meeting notes? Jesus Christ, man. He takes notes? I used to do that. And then I realized you can just turn on, what's it called? The mode that basically scribes everything everyone's saying in a team chat. So you don't actually have to pay attention. If you get asked the questions, you just read the captions. Corporate in a nutshell. No one actually does work. Can I watch if I go to the space station? Help me out, Space Anchor. I want to head to the space station and check the meeting records too. Yeah, see, we've got no outbound connection. Someone's blocking us. But they're allowing us to read this. That is sus. I got Seal a little while ago. I don't know what these guys want. I don't want to read all this. It's too much. Now check if you see balls there. Balls. I do see balls. Oh, so reading that text message triggers balls. They're all taking photos of Fugua. That's so cute. That's so cute. They're taking photos of it. That's so cute. Okay. But see, I would have had no reason to know that these would exist here. This is such a weird thing that I believe 99.9% of the player base would miss. Simply because who's going to explore around the bug boss for shits and giggles? A lot of people miss this. I am not surprised. We should do this as a little separate video. Do I have to worry about which order I access them? I certainly hope that I do not cockblock myself by reading them out of order, because that would be the most ridiculous shit ever. And I would rage. Memory bubble Lygus. Bubbles drift through the air. When you get closer, you can dimly make out the disconnected words, including Lygus. Touch the memory bubble. Based on Madame Herta's account, the Intellitron named Lygus has been bathed in Gnosis gaze. Having such an entity guarding Amphoreus will likely make our plans extremely difficult to execute. Intellitron. Intellitrons were, they're like Skrullum, right? They're like machines that have achieved self-awareness and then formed their own personality and then just fucking started building other Intellitrons off a conveyor belt. And then they built their own kingdom and shit. And then they waged a war against each other because why not? I mean, that's what fucking humans do, right? They wage a fucking war. So they did the same. So we're not so different, you and I. But yeah. Shit, yeah. Noose gaze. Noose, one of the Aeons. Noose is the Aeon of Herta, right? The really smart dude. Big robot head, right? Giant robot. Wait. But if the Aeon is a giant robot, like drifting in space, wouldn't the giant robot have to been created by someone? So someone created an Aeon. Or like created the technology which resulted in the Aeon being created. So there's just a giant computer floating in the cosmos. Just a giant Skynet, just chilling. Probably solar powered. That's crazy. Yeah. That's why I like this sort of shit. You go down the rabbit hole. He's like, wait a minute. But that means... Wait. But that means... Wait. But that means... Yeah, I love that shit. I love it. And I love how Welt's doing the whole Egyptian pharaoh thing. You know, they used to play with their beard here. Beards were considered like a symbol of wisdom, which is why you see like the pharaohs with like the big fake beard thing. And also in like China, you'd have the guy playing with their beard like, yes, I am wise. I'm old enough to grow a beard. Also having facial hair in Asia means I have testosterone. Yes, I am wise. And Welt's just doing the equivalent, which is this. Yeah. I love that shit. Based on Madame Herta's account, the Intellitron named Lygus has also been bathed in Neus's gaze. Having such an entity guarding Amphoreus will likely make our plans extremely difficult to execute, which tells you a few things. And I'm trying to like bring back my mind from 2 months ago because I've been 2 months on holiday. I think one of my theories was that Amphoreus was created as a cage for something, and then it turned out we had 3 different aeons that had something to do with Amphoreus, one of which was the destruction, and then I believe my theory was that it is a cage for either an emanator or like something. I don't know, there's like different classes, emanators and Fantilia, and I don't know the hierarchy, alright? But like it's a cage for someone, right? Alright, so it's a cage for someone, and around that they built all this random shit to just keep the cage closed, and then they essentially camouflaged Amphoreus in the middle of nowhere so he won't be discovered. So, like, that's how they keep it hidden. They basically buried it in the sand on a beach during low tide. So you can't just accidentally stumble upon this buried, whatever the fuck is buried, right? And then there's 2 other Aeons, you know, running around it. If it's an Intellitron, maybe it's Neus or something. I don't know. Maybe we found out like 2 or something. I don't remember, but that's what I remember. It's going to come back to me. I don't know, maybe point me in the right direction. Just tell me what I said last time. Maybe that will help jog my memory, my train of thought. But I'm getting it back slowly. Fear not, I've come prepared. We'll fight magic with magic and science with science. Wait, so they had that conversation down here in the basement where the bug is? This is where they hold their secret meetings? Remember, in the hierarchy, Lord Ravagers are emanators of the destruction. Always, every emanator of destruction is a Lord Ravager. Okay, so when I said emanator, I was technically correct. They're just called Lord Ravagers. It's like Lord Vader of the Sith. He is a Sith Lord, but he's an apprentice. So basically the Aeon is Darth Sidious, and the emanators are like the apprentices, but we call them Lords. Because like it'd be pretty weird for an apprentice of a Sith Lord to not also be a Lord. Imagine being Anakin, right? Like you just massacred the Jedi Order. You're not a master. And he's like, you are Lord of the Sith. Wait, I'm not a master of the Sith. Not yet. Take a seat, young apprentice. This is outrageous. He went from being a fucking Jedi Knight to an apprentice. He actually got demoted in the hierarchy. No wonder he wanted to kill Sidious. I don't want to kill him too. Anyway, I digress. Fear not, I've come prepared. We'll fight magic with magic and science with science. No. Why don't you fight science with magic and magic with science? Like, why are you fighting fire with fire? Fight fire with water. Damn it, Herta, I thought you were smarter than this. Oh, God. Beating machine brain with machine brain. So, Skrullum is going to take on the Intellitron? I appreciate Madame Herta's confidence in me, but before we delve into this discussion, there's something I must ask. Madame Herta, did you actually enter the world of Amphoreus? I think if my understanding of it is correct, and the way I'm visualizing it, and I will try to describe this, and I'm very bad describing a visual picture in my head in words, and my whiteboard's not here. But we have the Trailblazer and ourselves and all that fun stuff in Amphoreus, right? But when we were there, we were able to access pockets in a different time period, a different space-time. So, Memimem, Jihad Mem, as soon as we entered, put us back in time so we could cross the damaged things. And we thought like, oh, magic, unbelievable. And I'm like, wait a minute. The more I think about it, you've got that time, or let's call it a timeline, or let's call it a layer, or let's call it a reality. And then you've got the past, which we access to cross back and forth. If this is the most present, the most future point, you've essentially just got a time, loops, because, you know, Amphoreus, infinity, snake eating its own tail. You've got the time, happens, another time over it, happens, another time over it, like a layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of layer. And then priests or magic or whatever you want to call it lets you access the previous layer. We think the previous layer, but let's call it a previous layer. It doesn't necessarily need to be the same layer every single time, but we access a previous layer, right? Right, previous layer, right? And so essentially, because Amphoreus has got this fucking infinity thing, we don't actually know how many layers exist. We believe, oh, we are accessing the past. And we assume it's linear. The past being the previous fucking, you know, what do we call them? The 12 symbols or whatever. I don't know. We're doing Jesus references anyway. But like, the previous, what were they called? Mighty became one. I forgot the name, but you get me, right? He killed the previous one, he became the new one by taking the thingy, and now he holds the thingy until the next one comes around. And hopefully you get all 12, you reset something. Like, that's essentially what's playing out in my head. And the thing is, the previous people did that. Cryo says, thank you, Titans and Core Flames, thank you. So, the previous Chrysosairs defeated the previous Titans, grabbed their core flames, becoming the new Titans, and now the new Chrysosairs are taking their core flames to become Titans, and they're doing this in the bid to, I don't know, save Amphoreus from a looming threat. But here's the thing. The previous Chrysosairs and the Titans they defeated also did the same thing. And the people before them also probably did the same thing. And the same thing, and the same thing. Question is why? Because if the constant is that black plague, and it's not the black plague, the darkness, no, that's Kingdom Hearts, whatever they called it. They called it something. Same thing, regardless of the franchise. It's the same. Black Tide, thank you. Now it's the Black Tide, now it's the Black Shadow, now it's the Dark, whatever you want to call it. Why is it always black? Anyway, that's racist. But I digress. Something's going on. Now you've got an Intellitron. You've got an Intellitron. You've got multiple layers, multiple iterations, multiple cycles. You can read the previous, or you can access the previous time, or layer, or iteration, or loop. It sounds more and more like we're possibly dealing with a simulation. Now, I say this because, you know, we play shit, we're like IT simulation worlds, but you're in a world that's got magic. So, it doesn't necessarily all have to be IT. But the thing is, Herta came in a location that looks like where the pool is, and she was talking to Ligus, or whatever the fuck, right? We were there at the same time, in a different iteration, or a different instance, or a different layer, or a different time, or something, right? But apparently that was the front door. The front door. Meaning there's an exit. Meaning we're already inside, and he would let us leave if we didn't interfere or something, because we're an anomaly. Everyone in there has been in there. We're an anomaly. We came from the outside in. Is Ligus an administrator? Is Ligus like that guy from the Matrix that's sitting in the room with fucking all the screens? Is he like the architect? Because it's starting to sound like that. He's always watching. He's not interfering. He's occasionally creating a society of people to assassinate, you know, to guide history the way he wants it. Why? Why? Is he maintaining a prison? Or is he just like playing God? Like, things are coming up here, right? And there's 3 Aeons involved in this thing. I can understand if an Emanator of Destruction is kept prisoner. Makes sense. Emanators of Destruction, really bad. Keep them locked up. I 100% understand that. To hide this shit, you know, you camouflage it in the middle of space. I get that too. But what's this whole shit about Chrysosairs and shit? Like, I get it. Were you bored or something and you created people and, I don't know, you wanted to keep yourself busy or something and you want to see what would happen? Are you running simulations by replaying the same scenario over and over? Is that what we're doing? You know, there's a question to be asked here. And as soon as you go down to the Intellitron route, they exist outside of Amphoreus. They existed in like the Intellitron Empire or something, which had like 2 or 3 empires that waged wars and was crushed. I don't know. I can't remember everything from Simulated Universe, but you get my point. Like, that shit existed outside of Amphoreus in a certain point in time. and it was like destroyed or something. And then all of a sudden, Amphoreus. There was like an Intellitron King or something that was killed, right? I'm putting my money on Ligas being the Intellitron King. They thought he was killed. He fled in exile. He hid himself in Amphoreus and is ruling his little empire in the shadows. Because he's, I don't know, playing king and god with a bunch of idiots. I'm putting my money on that. I put my money on that. Remember member number 23, Genius Society, Rupert the Emperor. Then fucking put my money on that bastard. Him or someone made by him. You get my point. You get my point. Like, there is something going on here. And Herta would pick up on that instantly. And so would Skrullum, Intellitron. There is no way that these two motherfuckers are not picking up on the fact that this motherfucker is an Intellitron. Which means something. Anyway, I'm going to stop digging at that point, but that's where my mind is at right now. Also, Herta is shorter than I thought. Or maybe Welt is just taller than I thought. How tall is Welt? Wait, how tall is Sunday? Sunday's just a little bit taller than Herta. So how tall is Sunday? Because, like, he didn't strike me as too tall? Welt is tall, but, like, Sunday's your size. But you're not that tall. So what's Welt? Is he, like, 5'10"? Because Welt, like, Welt is either, like, tall or is not tall. Because Sunday is, like, not that tall. Welt is, like, 185. Okay, so he's, like, almost half a head taller than Herta. So if I put him down... So Herta's, like, 170? No, 165. Herta's maybe, like, 160. Herta's not that tall. The tallest character in the game is Finan with 1.9 as a reference. Yeah, but I haven't seen these people stand next to each other, so that doesn't help me. Mr. Skruller means that Amphoreus you entered, Madam Herta, might have been a cognitive barrier constructed by Ligas similar to the power of the Harmony. Yeah, but the Harmony uses magic, whereas Intellitrons would use technology. Manipulating my cognition without my awareness. That might be beyond even an emanator of Harmony. Look at that. Look at that face. She's so done with everyone's shit. This is a meme face. We could use this. We can use this face. This is a meme face and a half. This right here. Herta is done with your shit. Herta has never heard such stupidity before in her life. Drown yourself in a memory bubble. Screwy, are you saying the world I entered was just a firewall? Could be. Precisely, and I fear it wasn't a simple firewall at that. Amphoreus uses space as the first barrier, like I said, in the middle of nowhere. For Madame Herta, crossing this barrier is child's play. It's basically the camouflage. However, the second barrier is time itself. Warp in space-time using Amphoreus, which is why the infinity. So they're warp in space-time. But here's the thing. You could potentially warp space-time. And this is me going to science territory, which is a... Are you guys aware that the faster something moves, the slower it experiences time? It's called time dilation. So if you move really, really fast, like at the speed of light, like say you get out of the Earth's orbit, you have twins, right? One twin stays on Earth, the other one goes into space. Bam, go at the speed of light, just keep doing circles around the planet, right? 5 years, twin comes back. Twin down on Earth is 5 years older. Bam, the twin that was doing circles is probably maybe a couple of days older. Time dilation. They experience time differently. If Amphoreus is fucking moving like a motherfucker, it could be experiencing time like a lifespan in Amphoreus could be the blink of an eye in the outside. So an entire lifetime in Amphoreus could be like minutes, hours, or even days. And if you're doing cycles and layers, you could do a fuck ton of cycles. Because you've got near infinite time. If that's the case. The power necessary for that. Maybe if you had an emanator of destruction and used them as a power source, you could achieve that. you seen that South Park episode where the NSA uses Santa Claus and they hook him up to a machine and they just start draining his power to spy on everyone on the planet? You could do it. If an emanator of destruction's power could be siphoned, if you had the technology for that. And that goes back to the Intellitron. Technology. So, it's not a prison, it's a fucking battery. Amphoreus is a giant fucking battery. All I'm saying is if that fucking emanator ever breaks out, they're gonna be pissed. I mean, I know they're an emanator of destruction, but, like, they're gonna be pissed. And the real question is, where's the Aeon of destruction? It's like missing an emanator. It's like, where the fuck's my emanator? I'm missing an emanator, man. Where are they? Someone's using him as a battery. They're what? Someone's gonna be pissed. Maybe that's what happened to Blady. He just put an emanator of destruction in himself. Like, I'm gonna just put a battery in my chest. Yeah, boom. Could happen. Worked for Dante. Anyways, back to it. That explains it. Madame Herta mentioned observing traces of two nameless in the world of Amphoreus, which appeared to be both residual memoria and data materialization. Which means that at various moments... we just got name dropped! Ninja Kuma and Dan Hung's paths have been overlapped with Madame Herta's. I literally changed the name of our character from Kumat to Ninja Kuma because, like, people were renting our characters. Because we got Evanesia S1 and Silverwolf E2 and all that shit. But now they put Ninja... It feels weird. I'm just gonna call it Kumat. Sorry, it's just look weird. I don't want my name in there. It feels weird. Self-inserting. Feels dirty. I don't like it. This is Kumet's story, not mine. I don't need to self-insert myself in this world to live vicariously through a character. I can go outside if I need to. This is dirty. I'm sorry. I'm not that type of person. I'm not gonna take credit for someone else's work. No, that's dirty. No, that's not how I do it. No. I got a little more self-respect than that. I'll change the name after this. Paths have overlapped with Madame Herta's. On the bright side, this is at least confirms they landed safely and made some successful progress in their trailblaze. I said tailblaze. Collecting waifus. Yeah, we're chasing tail. I mean, technically speaking, that is my playthrough. Oh, shit, now that I think about it, that's pretty cringy. Ugh. Shit. Wow. The realization just hit. I refuse to pull on guys because that's gay. Turns out I've just been collecting women. How's that different from collecting waifus? Fuck. Shit. Shit. I'll leave notes. Part 1. Theory crafting. In Liagus. I'm probably getting all this wrong. Emanator battery. Time dilation. Cycles. And then... what's it called? Collecting waifus. Okay. Ra should know what that is in the future. Makes his life easier. Make his life easier by leaving notes. I'm nice like that. The future of Furbu. What did he say? Please don't, like... This dress is very nice. Alright, let me change that just so I don't make it cringe. Let's not be cringy. Trailblaze profile. By the way, guys. Oh, there's only one. Usually there's like 20 of these. We're just getting infinite gold from this. Ninja Kuma YouTube. Can I just change it? Twitch. Okay, we get it. How do I change the name? So much easier on PC. Forget it. Screw it for now. No, I don't want to read it. It's cringy. It's cringy. I need to be able to change the name. Oh, we haven't done as I've written. We have to do that. We don't want to let it pile up again. How do I change the name? Scheiße. Scheiße. How do I change the name? Oh my god, I have that doll. Oh, that's the doll. Sparkle the Terrorist. Settings. Profile picture, edit name. Yes. There we go, Kumat. Oh, that's so much better. It's not me anymore. I find it cringe self-inserting yourself. Jesus, look at this. We're starting to look like a whale account. This is starting to look like a whale account, guys. Bronya 6. We just need Welt E4. I need to start losing my 50-50s to Welt. We really need to do as I've written, I believe. You are a whale account. I like that the Tanuki's just taking photos of Fugua. I've always been a huge fan of yours. Aww. That's not how you're gonna get the girl. Anyways. I love, I think Raz got the video of my yearly thing. And my yearly thing was like the character you spent most time with, Acheron. Character you've used the most, Acheron. Character that's battled the most, Acheron. And it's like for every single path, it's like Acheron, Bronya, fat fuck. Oh, let's get Team 7 before we forget. By the way, I was playing a card game and there was a fat fuck. Bubbles and then Z-Book. Yeah, that works. I was playing a game and there was a fat fuck in it. It was like unicorn card game or something. I'll send you guys a photo later. Emperor's Scepters. I forgot about the scepters. They were fighting. Now it's coming back to me. The fucking scepters. The power got broken off and scattered and everything. Yeah! I just want to see the name of the next bubble. Chronocognitive Anchor. That's going to be some sci-fi bullshittery. And Lord Ra... Yeah, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. The cage is just siphoning the power of a Lord Ravager using the scepters. And I believe he could be artificially trying to build more scepters. So he's essentially built a factory in the middle of nowhere using the power of a Lord Ravager to try to recreate the scepters or create new ones in order to turn himself into an Aeon. Not a bad plan. He's essentially doing the Dr. Giro lab, hidden deep underground, to build the perfect bioorganism. But here's the question. Okay, I understand that. I understand that. I understand that part. But why the whole Amphoreus thing with the cryosaurs and shit? Is that just to keep himself busy in the background? Like, he just essentially created his own anime to keep him busy while he's running simulations. Or is maybe the running of simulations over and over again to create something? That could be it. He's trying to create something, but what is he trying to create? Different combinations, Chrysos airs. What is he trying to create? Maybe the Black Tide. Or like the perfect weapon? A bit like Perfect Cell, maybe? Maybe that's what Totally Not Fine and Ring Wraith Lord Vader does. Maybe that's Lygus' creation. Makes sense. Pretty edgy, but okay. Emperor Scepters. Bubbles drift through the air. When you get close, you can dimly make out the disconnected words, including Emperor's Scepter. I see where this is going. Touch the memory bubble. In my long existence, I have certainly come across worlds that use space-time as barriers. Are any of you familiar with the Emperor's Scepter? Unfortunately, but please give me the too long didn't read because it's been a while. Wait, fucking Black Swan was there? I didn't even notice her in the previous conversation. A colossal system among Emperor... That's what she meant by fuel! That crafty bitch. We just interpreted it as fuel for the Trailblaze train. No. She meant it as like fuel for something... That crafty bitch! She tricked me! I like her. A colossal system among Emperor Rupert II's collection of scepters, operated by anti-life equations and created to simulate destruction scenarios for innumerable civilizations. That almost describes Amphoreus to a T. Mind you, they don't know what's going on in Amphoreus. But, like, that basically just fucking describes Amphoreus. It's a perpetual rumbling. That basically just described that. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like this right here. Roll the fucking credits. Even amidst the scholars' strife, when other scepters were depleted of computing power, none dared employ such ungovernable erudition weapons, as they were either sealed forever or cast into a distant stellar abyss. And some bastard's been going around and collecting them, putting them together, and using a Lord Ravager as an electricity battery, and then powering them back up to run end world scenario simulations? Okay, but what's the end goal? Screwy, where did you come across such a sinister artifact? While exploring the origins of inorganic life across distant border stars, I found one that had escaped detection. Even though its operator had perished in self-coronation, he was coronating himself, Emperor, and just died. That scepter continued to function. Terrifying computational tides surged within it, yet not a single ripple escaped to the outside world. Wait, so the scepters themselves create an Amphoreus. To protect its extrapolations from external disruption, the Emperor's scepter secluded itself in a concave space and deliberately warped its internal time flow. That's the infinity symbol. So Lygus is not doing that intentionally, the scepter does it itself. The world inside the scepter gradually descended into madness after centuries of extrapolation. When I attempted to peer inside, I nearly had my logical components disrupted by those insane data entities. That's why humans drink alcohol. Conclusion. Should that Emperor's Scepter extrapolations run amok, it might instigate another calamity driven by inorganic life. Consequently, I devoted 2 amber arrows to disable it from within. How long is an amber arrow again? But then again, we're looking at it as amber arrows from the outside. The time dilation inside the world is different. So he could just like go in around 320 years. 420 would be better, but 320 is okay. So like you could throw Screwy in there. And he's like, I just spent 320 years fixing this thing, but for us it's only been a weekend. You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure he's not going to run out of life. He might run out of oil and thermal paste, but those can be fixed. Speaking of which, I should probably re-thermal paste. No, it should be okay. It's been 5, 6 years. Thermal paste lasts about 7 years, right? I should re-thermal paste the CPU's cooling. 2 years. What? But I haven't touched it in 6. So do I like reapply it or just leave it? See, now I'm scared. Explain some things. Leave it. If it works, don't touch it, Suka. Okay? It's like German car. If it works, don't touch it. You just leave it alone. As soon as you touch it, everything breaks, Suka. Sir, that is a tank. Shut up! Deduction. Amphoreus' actual identity might be a lost Emperor's scepter or similar erudition construct, while Lygus may be its operator or perhaps another Rubert hidden from the world. I love how he just basically said one of the things that I was thinking about. I know, I could just ride the story, but I actually like the mental masturbation of thinking about it. That makes me engaged. I understand it is a sandbox, and I'm just doing it for my own pleasure, but some people also enjoy doing math equations. For me, this is an enjoyable math equation. Except I hate math. It's hard to imagine the madness within a scepter that has been extrapolating for over 100 amber eras. Well, a black tide, a hooded figure that's like going around totally not fine and killing his friends. Shit. That's like a Naruto villain. He's probably been so fucked up he can't even speak. Shit. Chronocognitive anchor. That just sounds like cyberpunk. Bubbles drift through the air. When you get close, you can dimly make out the disconnected words, including chronocognitive anchor. Hey, Saber. Where's your sense of adventure? Hey, this is my sense of adventure. To explore information inside the scepter, I once spent half an amber era Creating a cognitive anchor. What if I was reading these the other way around? Or do these like appear in a... No, they all appear. So if I went right instead of left, doesn't matter. Oh, so they all play out the same way? Oh, okay, good. Because I was going to say, if I started with like this scepter thing before discussing the previous two things, it'd just be out of whack. Okay, good. They did something good. Anchor. This is the gift I bring to you all. After implanting it into the Emperor Scepter then, I secured a set of anchored temporal coordinates without compromising its shell. Even when a world's temporal flow is distorted, basic causality remains inviolable. In the smallest computational increments, time's flow still flows discernible patterns. Logic. If the firewall Ligus created for Amphoreus is similar to the Emperor's Scepter's self-defense mechanism, then the chrono-cognitive anchor should be effective against it as well. Well, he would have absolutely no reason to modify it, because if it works, don't touch it, sort of thing. Oh, screwy. The last time I was impressed was when we built the simulated universe together. Just fuck already! You flatter me, Madam Herta. It's just a minor invention. Not satisfying to use, but serves its purposes. It kind of makes sense that someone like Herta, the closest she can experience to, you know, connection, would be with a fucking Intellitron that has been around for a while. Because the average human simply wouldn't be on her level, intellectually speaking. So she could not hold a fun conversation. Or Ruan Mei. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I am that person in the friend group that's a weirdo. Because I know certain things that normal people get freaked out by. Ruan Mei is an incredibly intelligent person, but she's gone down the rabbit hole of wanting to create a perfect life form to become a god or an Aeon or something like that. And once you start having a conversation with a person like that, Herta would be like, why the fuck would you want to do that? Because that's an ego-driven thing. Wanting to be an Aeon. Wanting to do this. Wanting to control death because of some fucking trauma or something that she had in childhood. And Herta would be like, that is a waste of time. You know what I mean? And so, like, the only other person that could match Herta tit for tat intellectually is batshit crazy. And I know crazy is a simple label to put on people. You just label it as crazy because you don't understand it. And I'm labeling it as crazy because it's like, it's pretty extreme. It's pretty extreme. It's like, yes. The life form that literally all the Aeons had to band together to try to defeat, to stop it from swallowing all organic life and consuming it as biomatter and creating the entire existence as a giant bug hive, you know, bad end, right? Let me just revive that shit in the basement. That's essentially what she's doing. She makes the Umbrella Corporation from Resident Evil look tame. Just putting it out there. Herta, Screwlum, and Ruan Mei. I'm going to leave that as a note because I want to find that later. The one thing that gets me, Screwlum and Herta know what Ruan Mei is up to. And they do nothing. Ruan Mei hides her existence in plain sight by feeding people drugs. And I've sent you the meme, Ram. I'm still waiting for that short. But Herta and Screwlum just kind of ignore the lingering danger that is Ruan Mei. She's got final boss energy. Because eventually she will be creation's biggest threat. She's creating swarm babies. And she's probably going to modify them to be even stronger. She's probably going to, like, integrate herself as the swarm queen to try to become a swarm god or something. Like, she's crazy and she's got to go down. I mean, I love Ruan May to bits, right? But she's got to go down. She will kill us all. She will kill us all. I hope you guys realize that. She's that level of crazy. You don't go there. And this is me saying that. I hope you realize what that means. Well, I still have some questions. Mr. Skrullum's gift will surely help us reach Kumet and Dan Hung. Oh, thank God. It's no longer saying Ninja Kuma, because that shit's weird. Thank God. Kumet, alright? Kumet is separate from me. Kumet is totally separate from me. Let's keep it that way. Premises. We have the temporal coordinates of those two brave nameless, and the chronocognitive anchor actually works in Amphoreus. The first is easy. I've seen their residual memory in the firewall, which work perfectly as reference points. As for the latter, well, there's only one way to find out. Are they brave or just reckless? Let's be real here. What's the difference? You have to be a little bit reckless to be brave. Lord Ravager. Bubbles drift through the air. When you get close, you can dimly make out disconnected words, including Lord Ravager. If it turns out that all the Lord Ravagers are women, I'm just going to be like, I see what you're up to, and I like it. And Black Swan is just sitting there with a big grin on her face. She likes where this is going. Here's the thing. I understand the Genius Society and Skrullum and Herta being like, if there is an Intellitron with their hands on a scepter, this needs to be stopped. I understand that. And I also understand the Trailblazers being like, this is not a good thing. There is a stellaron. Something needs to be done. I can also understand the stellaron hunters who, let's face it, are kind of using that as a cover, right? Because if they were really hunting stellarons, they wouldn't actually put one in the MC. But anyway. But, the Garden of Recollection, what's going on there? What's their angle on this? Get what I mean? There's something going on there. And the thing is, Black Swan is just here for the ride. She's just hitched the ride and no one suspects shit. And now she's got access to Herta. She's got access to Skrullum. She's got access to Sunday. She's got... Well, Sunday was kind of like a toss in the air. That was just like pure coincidence. But you get my point. She's going for the ride, flying under the radar, and the Garden of Recollection made contact with the MC. It's like, shh, don't tell anyone about us. You know what I mean? And the last time Herta had a beef with the Garden of Recollection, she turned one of them into a mirror. So, like, there's shit going on here. The Garden of Recollection is operating like an intelligence agency for a rogue government. And we don't know what their play is. We know what the IPC does. Their Aeon is just like, I want all of the things. You know, you kind of know what they're doing. Because everything they do will be in pursuit of that path. We kind of know what the Trailblazer's doing. We kind of don't understand the motivation of the Stellaron Hunters, but we kind of know what they're doing. We know what Herta's doing. We don't know what the fuck the Garden of Recollection is doing. And why. Oh yeah, we're just collecting shit. Yeah, right? Yeah. And Ruan May's just collecting fucking bug samples for a collection. Yeah. Not long ago, Fully's gaze swept across Amphoreus, combined with the intel Madame Herta gathered on this journey. Amphoreus might soon trigger the rage of a Lord Ravager. Lord Ravager Fantilia, we confronted her on the Jianzhou, and later gained some relevant information from her. I wonder if the destruction secretly brewing behind Amphoreus comes from the renowned overlords like Zephyrio, Selenova, and Iron Tomb. I've heard the Iron Tomb name come out in like shit in the background, so we're gonna go with that one. Or from once still unknown to the world like Fantilia. So there's 4 Lord Ravagers. There could be more, but 4. That's like 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Fantilia used pestilence, which is the first horseman. The second one is war. Oh god. Oh boy. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I don't know if we're going that route, but we've got the Jesus symbolism in Amphoreus. So, I mean, if they're going with that, they might go with the 4 horsemen. Which one is it? When it erupts, countless lives will surely be lost. Well, I mean... let's not worry about that. They'd be going too OG in, like, prophecy and stuff. Like, in order to break the seal on death, you must sacrifice 10,000 or something like that. Could be the Black Tide. When you look at it that way, Amphoreus might be a safety box. After all, 3 forces at the Emanator level or even higher. If they were to come to blows, it would be far more explosive than Chadwick's bombs. If that's true, wouldn't Kumet and Dan be in extreme danger in Amphoreus? In any case, we must reach them somehow. Damn. And may I understand that these bubbles disappear once we continue the story? So if we did not do this at this point in time, it disappears. Here's a question. If this is the case, why did they not, in the mission log, have like, this is the next mission? Underneath that, optional, time sensitive. Go here with a teleportation instant transmission link and do these 4 bubbles. Like, that's not too complex. Just add a little subquest, which is temporary time locked. We'll teleport you there, do the thing, and it'll tick it once you've done it for the people that want to do all the optional shit. Like, you went through the effort of putting it in the game. Why not let people know that it's in the fucking game? This isn't even the next mission, and they show you that. It's... Like, I could clearly tell that they're just pushing shit out, and some of this stuff, like, this was created, and someone's like, no, it's not that important, and someone last minute just shoved it into the game because they really didn't want to put all their work on the ground, but there's no indication that it's even in, like... Hoya's making so much money, but they're executing some really good content really badly. I know, I'm becoming the complainer, but fucking hell. I have a reason to complain, because I like it. I like the story. I'm just so sad it's so easy to miss it. And I'm really glad that I'm being guided. Because this is awesome. I'm just sad that a lot of people will never experience it. And that sucks. Because it's really good. Time for As I've Written. Who's writing this? Memi Mememem. Memi Mememem is probably writing it. How do I even access it? How do I access the written thing? It's somewhere. The phone. Oh, okay. It's so weird to access this shit through the phone. Okay, there it is. Clearly I'm bad with using the phone. And this is an achievement most people will never get. Do they at least let people like replay certain sections of the game? So if I went to replay Amphoreus and I teleported back to this point in time, would I still be able to do that? Nope. The people that own Hoyo clearly don't give a shit. They're just here for the money. The people that are writing the story and stuff do give a shit because they're writing it, but their voice is being overshadowed by the people that are responsible for maximizing profit. And so the priority is banners, skins, and all this other shit. And the story is basically coming second. Which is really sad. Fucking hell. I can tell you that from my experience in corporate. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah, mem, jihad mem. I saw you were smiling when I got here. Ah, is it because it's your day off? Got it in one, didn't I? It's because I like this place. Wait, am I actually interacting with Mem that's writing this book? Or is there an echo of Mem's consciousness in the book as it was written? And I'm interacting with the consciousness of Mem at this point in time when this was written. And so later on, what's written will have a voice, whereas this one, who knows? Praise be to days of rest. Yeah, but which day of rest? Is it Friday like the Jews, Saturday like the Muslims, or Sunday like the Christians? It's just because I'm a cheerful girl. Your smile really is lovely, Kumet, just like mine. Fucking Mem self-praising herself. I'm complimenting you, but I'm also complimenting me. Wow! The ego on this one. Oh, I know. Let's make a pact. As long as we're together, no matter how tough things get, we'll always remind each other to smile, okay? Promise me. This sounds a bit clingy. Close book. Mem is really clingy. Write a story? What am I writing? Having witnessed the Gold Weaver's end, drop in that strand of nameless recollection. Wait, I'm writing a book which is basically like the Garden of Recollection? So is Black Swan gonna try to steal my book? Black Swan could F off, this is my book. Grandmother, Prophecy, Studio, Growth, Bath, Slumber, Mentorship, Travels. Whose visage comes into view? Oh, Cypher came in. Whoops. Headdress, Grandmother, Lies. I feel bad for Cypher, by the way. Lion Cat's Travelogues. Warm Childhood.
In Dolus' suburbs, in a tiny weaving workshop, the silk-weaving old woman busies herself within, as her smart child wanders outside on a whim. The silk pours from the loom, some bright as the dawn, some dark as the night. The woman had lived her whole life in poverty, yet through her business, she never deceives.
Good child, listen to me. Never lie and speak deceit, for people like you only do to honesty.
You know what's sad? I know people like this in the old country, and they're good people, but they ultimately always lose to those who lie and cheat. And I'm basically seeing it in Bosnia, where it's cheaper to go to the mass supermarkets and buy ready-made food than plant potatoes in your own garden, grow them, and then later cut them, wash them, and turn them into food. Because the people that lie, cheat, and steal do so on such a massive scale, and economies of scale just basically just dominates the whole country. And it's destroyed every possible industry. So all that's left to do is just provide services to the corrupt. And if you don't, you basically starve. Late game capitalism in a nutshell. And I'm watching it in a country where I grew up, where everyone was a farmer and was able to live. 20 years later, it's completely destroyed. And it's basically just 30, 40 years ahead of what's happening here in the West. And the same thing is playing out the same way. I'm just like, fuck. Anyway, let's continue. Too deep and shit.
The girl smiles and nods, but her heart is drawn to the boundless desires of the bustling streets. And the grandmother is unaware that her handmade white dress has been stained by the mud of conceit.
Madam, what is a bundle of white silk's price?
Sir, only 2,000 Balus coins.
An honest price tag can only meager profit obtain.
If we keep selling cloth
The girl complains to her grandmother, while sprouting countless plots and petty tricks. The woman smiles and does not reply, only weaving with night-shaded silk a suave hooded robe for her little spark.
Why don't you take some of our goods and go into the city tomorrow to try out those pranks?
The mesmerizing moneyed charm of Dolos City turns minds and tongues into a whirlwind of confusion. Even the girl who prided herself on sharp ears and a clever tongue could not contend with the myriad shifting face before her.
Sorry, I'm getting... Someone's knocking on the door. Give me a sec. Hacham was just back home, all good in the hood.
She returns penniless and furiously seethes.
I vow to the god of thieves that I will eventually empty those people's pockets.
Smiling, her grandmother stops her silk work and offers some dinner with humble dish.
Silly child, don't let Titans hear such vows and promises.
Meanwhile, the thieving Titan's like, I like the cut of her jib.
Yet, when the moon rises, a magnificent pin graces the old lady's pale locks. The girl smiles at the old woman, now stunned in shock.
I actually did return with some catch.
It's gonna be like the little pin of the Titan of trickery.
The brilliance adorning her white hair drew all eyes, and its proud original owner arrived to stake their claim. The bet that the girl won with a brilliant trick is described as a thief's loot through lying schemes. The old woman in her panic shouldered the blame, confirming a sin that was but a fabrication.
By Dolos's laws, we must also execute all her family!
Wait, sorry, what? Who did she scam that everyone needs to be executed?
To protect the girl, the old woman reveals the final secret unseen.
She's not my family, but just an orphan picked from the street on a whim.
People thought this to be a lie, but the girl knows that her grandmother cannot deceive. Just like how she always glossed over questions about parents and kin.
So it's basically a cautionary tale about reputation. You can destroy a lifetime of reputation in a single act, but if your reputation is ironclad, everyone will believe you because you're honest.
Your parents went to a city-state far away.
The girl never bothered to unravel the threadbare lie.
Stop! Stop right there, you thief!
Run! Run as fast as you can! Cypher up!
The lies overthrow the shop and tear apart the good woman's good name, leaving the girl with guilt and grief. The hearth of her home was a lie, doused by another conceit. But if her sleight of hand had better skill, would it have made that fire burn forever? The girl pulls down the hood and sinks into the starless dark.
I vow to the god of thieves.
And from that day, she never left empty-handed, her words woven with deceit.
So the poor woman and her family got executed? What the fuck?
However, back then, the girl did not realize that the people did not covet one simple pin, but the golden blood flowing beneath her skin.
So they executed the old woman. Screw Amphoreus! That sounds like that old woman that was starting like the Dagger people. Screw those people. Ah, Hyson.
This world may contain thousands of ills, but the number of sufferers is countless, like ocean-going sails. The father and daughter who inherited the sky wander this land's paths, and throughout the cities, they heal the unwell.
Heirs of the sky who once reveled in martial might, why do you now soothe the world's blistering blight?
The doctor responds with a smile, as he cures the injury's agony.
Father, why did our ancestors revel in warlike might?
Because they only have a sorrowful past of lamenting wails.
Then why are we here, soothing the blight?
Because we have a future that needs protection still.
The priest who parts dusk from dawn collapsed the sky and sealed her wings, and dwells in a place where time itself mends, bearing the promise to return to the Zenith Supreme.
This is the Twilight Courtyard's story.
And the father tells his daughter the tale of their line, next to the bonfire, lit in the wilderness where winds pine. Though he had told the story many times before, a light in the girl's eyes still shines.
Maybe I will return to the sky one day.
Or maybe that is not to be your fate.
The blessings of the sky were passed down through generations of their heirs. The brawn of the Titan who molded stars granted a boon fitting and fair. Perhaps the girl with heroic blood in her veins will be accompanied by thunderbolts and the sun's merciless glare. Childishly, she recited the words,
Oh, sky, heed my wishes.
and thunder and heat did not descend. She only saw a sliver of gentle warm flare, wiping away mortal exhaustion and others' tired airs. What a gentle blessing! All said that she must be a savior saint, bringing light to the land, even if faint. But where the girl's eyes often gazed was the wine-dark sky, gloomy and bleak.
The god is also sick.
That grand longing to save the world may be no more than the girl's feeble dream. But her father treated it as his greatest treasure, and taught her all the ways of potions and creams. That girl therefore always accompanied the gentle master of healing and repair. And she brought glowing faint light to the night, dispelling pains and mending the world's pitchy blight. Father and daughter often rested in the silent courtyard under the giant tree. Yet today, at that place, only one solitary figure can be seen. On that night, the healer spoke to a visitor throughout the night. On that morning, he bid farewell to his daughter for the first time.
I think, as I've written, compilation is worth as a video since this is all unvoiced. You're the guy with all the votes. I just leave the notes so you can easily find them. But yeah, I did that with Danganronpa 2 all the free times. I just never uploaded them as separate videos. I might do that when I dig up like Danganronpa 1 and 2 and start re-uploading them just before Danganronpa 2.2 comes out. The perfect time. The Tanuki delivers. Something that I've already edited but never released is going to be perfectly timed.
He will heal the ill at a faraway place, where the end of days approaches, and no family of his should follow.
You have learned the craft of healing, and understood the blessing. But a light more radiant still is needed to heal the entire world.
The departed healer never returned, and the girl never left. And that rather lonely courtyard stayed silent as it was before.
This is really good for character exposition. I wouldn't even mind having things like this for previous characters. I know we hear a little bit about character backstories and things like that, but this is nice. And it wouldn't be too difficult for them to write and voice and execute, but it would be really nice for all the characters. Ah, fine.
There are no swords here, only farming tools.
Facing the ambitious boy, the shopkeeper kindly explained.
Even a rake would do. Let its worth be judged by the verses I compose with it.
Many days later, the wounded child stood upon the scorched earth, and silently he buried the ruined tool. For that was his first sword, and on the day that the black tide came, he broke the shackles of fate with that weapon true.
Shackle, sickle, finen. The ring wraith motherfucker has one of those, by the way. And Finan built a sword based on his sword. Totally not Finan.
Let go of my beard, you white-haired rascal.
No!
Fine. You win, okay?
That was the first victory claimed by the boy. A victory often mentioned in later years. And yet he never treated it with shame.
I understood something thanks to his beard.
The others hold their breath, waiting for his thoughts. But he only gives out one response.
The victor must stay focused, and success will come when you work on nothing else.
Those words became the foundation of his existence.
Knowledge is also a power used to smite.
While studying at the Grove of Epiphany, he etched this into his heart. So he devoured thousands of books, skimming through to glean the martial powers of might. But unenlightened wisdom is merely dust. And when the next calamity approaches, all he recalled is flight. Thus, his books are always worn into shreds, for each book was read endlessly, till he remembered every detail slight. When first arriving at the Holy City, he was no more skilled than a soldier, except his ambition.
Even the deliverer from the sky must have their beginnings in the soil of the nations.
The elders in the holy city scorned, casting him into barracks in derision. But none expected this new recruit of unknown history made his name in one mission. Some asked him, which teacher caused such improvement? He answers with countless names, including the Inquirer's own.
Only one who treats the world as their teacher can bear its eventual destiny.
Isn't it wonderful that we are blessed with the ability to be taught by people throughout time from what they've left behind? Yet so few do it.
Those with golden blood are bound to succeed.
The golden heroes are born as gods, beloved.
Such words echo in the man's mind. Yet he knows glory is not where the journey begins. He misses the buried rake, worshipped the enemy with the long beard, mended his tattered books, and polished the barrack's dust-covered gear.
What forges a hero is not destiny from above, but the long journey that follows.
Now he stands here and looks back, and his past twists into a winding path. The long road to the sky stretches ahead, and towards the blazing white sun, he pens down Deliverance's name.
Interesting. And the final one.
She can see the most delicate colors, the most distant contours. She can see the most secret desires, and through the most perfect liars.
But being able to see everything is the same as seeing nothing.
Countless mirages and cacophony surround her with stimuli plenty, casting her into another kind of blindness overwhelming. So she soaks herself in the bath and lets her golden thread go beyond the palace. When the water drops on the thread vibrate and shiver, she closes her eyes and listens to the echoes silently. She hears how a mother's feet were wounded for treading over too many stones, and is soaking her feet in the hot water bath. She hears children playing next to the pools, and someone is saying loudly,
I heard that the Golden Goddess also likes to visit the baths.
She's basically the KGB.
So she soaks herself in the bath and lets her golden thread go beyond the palace. When the water drops on the thread vibrate and shiver, she closes her eyes and listens to the echoes silently. She hears how a mother's feet were wounded for treading over...
Oops, replayed. I thought it was gonna go.
She is used to bathing alone. At the start of the hours of lucid or parting, her golden hair spread in the water like a throne, like the scattered golden threads, wrapping her again in a cocoon. Yanis's holy maiden silently walks over, scooping up water to wash the weaver's hair, as if cleansing the bough of a laurel tree. That is when the one who sees the core flame finally knows. There's no difference between a demigod and a true deity. The golden blood that congealed through divinity only in this heavy heat can temporarily flow. And let this golden butterfly feel a fleeting warmth. just as she had once touched her own face. Falls the final tear her eyes will ever produce.
Teacher, I had a dream,
she recounts.
Sorry, it just...
Like a young girl on a whim.
Sorry, it just fucking hit me. There is a literal book being written about the Chrysos heirs. And there's 12 of them. And we've got Christian symbolism. 12 disciples, 12 Chrysos heirs. A book being written. Who's writing the book? Memi memem. Fucking pink Jesus. Fuck you. It just fucking hit me. She was talking about there's no difference between demigods and deities and all this shit. It just fucking hit me like, wait a minute. Memi Memem with all this fucking ability, that's not even a fucking Chrysos heir. I'm gonna put that as a note to make it easy to find. Huh. Okay, let's continue. Continue.
The sound of the water repels all disruptions in speech. Such peaceful rest. Such sweet dreams. She dreamed of how she was a naive noble girl, ignorant of the world. She dreamed of the countless nights when she worked, in the courtyards she weaved. She dreamed of being before the vine-covered temple, where the wind blew by in a violent stream. Lastly, she dreamed of the prophecy that she heeded, how the ancient sound came through the 1,000 waves and could not be heard clearly in her dream.
The dawn device is always glittering, and birds are always chittering.
The children of Akuma like these kinds of songs. Why not trust in the promise of an era Chrysia unending? Like how children believe in fairy tales, passed down unceasing. But will the dawn device truly shine forever? Will the voices of songbirds not one day turn hoarse? In the golden bath in times gone by, she pierced her eyes, for she saw the all-too-dazzling future of everyone. That future was nothing compared to false promises. The gods have already determined her destiny and her passing. She knew. She has long known. The red-haired child appears worried.
You are aware of everyone's fate, yet never speak of your own future.
The child who passes along the prophecy understands that to lay such a heavy weight on one person is comparable to the dawn the world-bearing Titan's shoulders.
There's only one future for silken threads. That is, to weave magnificent clothes for others.
She takes the children's hands, inviting them into the pools, intending to use warm water to wash away their concerns. Yes, before the toll of the bell that announces the hour, before the meeting to judge the flame chase begins. Do not waste the rare good dreams, or the languid waves warm as tears. She mutters as destiny slumbers in her arms.
The one that wears this elegant attire in the future must bear the weight of the silk threads.
Did I spell it correctly? A-G? Ah, it's A-G, doesn't start with... Yeah, Anglia. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, 12. Huh. I heard that before reaching the end of their life, the followers of Nestia would offer their most beautiful creation. What would that be for Anglia? I think it would be the people around her. The future of the holy city, perhaps that is herself. In any case, it will be very romantic. The future of the city would be the future of the people within it. Perhaps that it is herself. I don't think she was that egotistical. I think it's the future of the holy city. Though I haven't seen it yet, it must be just like Anglia's other works. Golden, beautiful, and warm. Alright. Are all the other stories you've experienced on your journey the same? Always growing more serious? Never feeling at ease? That mood's inevitable. I never saw it that way. I'll do my best to avoid it. The mood's inevitable. I see. Then we must continue to become the exception. After all, we promised to always remind each other to stay optimistic. Please remember that no matter what. Oh, that makes sense. Mem has no memory. Every cycle, Mem's memory would get wiped. And then as the Chrysos heirs disappear, Mem gets more and more of her memory and powers back. Once all of them are gone, Mem is back at full power. That makes sense. It's all cyclical. In any case, I'll remember all of this in my heart. After all, their stories deserve to be told and retold. I can't remember it, but I'm going to start guessing that after each Chrysos heir died or disappeared, Mem was able to speak more, or think more, or do more. That's my little hunch. Because it was like, oh, over time, Mem is speaking more and more. And it's like, what was also happening over time? The Chrysos heirs. The core flames. But then again, we're very late into the core flame journey. You know? So, like, more than half of them had already been done. But still, it's my hunch. Right story? There's more? Oh, that was just the one crystal we did. So that one crystal came with those 4 stories. Wow. I really need that LC. It's best in slot. Are you going to react to Persona 4 Remake? Or have you already done so? I haven't. I just came back from overseas. This is our first proper stream after being overseas for 2 months. 33 part 1 and now 33 part 2. Makes sense, because it was a long thing. Ah, now we got another 5. Okay, I want a coffee to do the other 5, because these are dense. They're like a dense cheesecake, right? You gotta eat it and taste it and digest it and really, like, you know, it's good. I like it. I like this method of storytelling and building lore for the characters. It's really good. I kind of wish they do something like this for other characters as well. I know they have like side stories, side contents and stuff, but when this is voiced with nice music in the background and they really think through what they're gonna say, it's really dense in a really short bite, a really small bite, and it's impactful because it gives you stuff on characters that you would normally kind of overlook and not do their side content because, hey, I'm not going to do side content for these characters because they don't interest me. But you get the bite of their lore and you're like, oh shit, there's more to them than just what I've seen or just what I'm sort of assuming and stuff. And I think it's a really good way to do it. And they also incentivize you with your stellar jades and stuff, right? So like you have the incentive to do it, and they sort of connect in their own ways and have relationships with each other. So like it's actually really, really good. I find that the quality of the way that they tell the story and build the characters has improved, because, you know, 1.0 you got Bellaborg and the space station and everything, and that's a very classic sort of game thing. They have written stuff, they talk about stuff, you get flashback cutscenes, you get cutscenes and stories. It's like pretty general. And then you had the Lofu, where they used a lot more of the writing, and firstly I'm not going to read all that. And then they did the whole simulated universe thing where you got to read a crap ton to get the world building and everything. But this is voiced. It's a lot easier to consume. This is what I would really like them to do with things like simulated universe and divergent universe and all the other stuff. If you do it like this, you consume it, it's nice, you take it in, you think about it, you know, it's good storytelling. Excellent storytelling. Do it like this. This is how you do it. Please do more of this, because it's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, let's take a little bit of a break. I will play... I don't know if I can play the Fantilia boss. No, I will just leave this music in the background because I don't want to deal with copyright claims. So take a quick little 3-minute break. I'm going to grab a coffee, but I really, 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 really like this. I really like this. So Amphoreus... I'm a bigger fan now of Amphoreus, not necessarily because of the story, but how it's executed. Which is really important. Really important. Let's take a 3-minute break. 3-minute break. As I've written. Alright, let's do it. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. That's why we gotta do it now. So next time we don't have like 50. Oh, Jesus, he has 2. Of course he does. Because this guy never shuts up. Everyone else gets 1. This fucker gets 2. That's very on brand. That is fucking on brand for this bastard. Even in death, he's an asshole.
On the day that the grove fell, he accepted his defeat and demise, as if embracing truth and heresy.
Believe in Titans, and you'll have a happy death. Deny the Titans, and you'll have a fulfilling death.
Yet, as the lightened soul bids farewell to its heavy shell, a Titan made an untimely call.
Do not be startled, child of humanity. You have a final query in this world.
You finally came.
He does not seem shocked, and lets the core flame take over his shell.
Be more punctual next time, if you will.
Upon his first meeting with the Titan, the blasphemer is already on his best behavior. And towards the suggestion to reforge his body, he paid no mind.
I have so kindly offered you the best body. So why do you insist upon your mortal imperfection?
The scholar replies in candor.
Only by retaining the various flaws can my humanity be preserved in rigor.
His form remains in the mortal realm, while his spirit walks the river of soul shores. Between life and death, he fatigues, dwelling in the child of humankind's thoughts and senses. The Titan cannot bear to remain a mere spectator.
Why not ask me your questions, child of humanity? I am rich in wisdom, and shall speak with no ambiguity.
As though an unspoken pact, the scholar asked the god about all things, feigning a humble quest for knowledge.
Do you treat me just as a way to answer questions? A mere machine?
The Titan got what they asked for.
You should thank me, for good questions are rarer than good answers.
Is not wrong.
Compared to the joy of a new life, the scholarly breakthrough, carried home alongside death, filled the scholar's heart with more fervor. He returned to the Scourged Grove many times, and the Black Tide followed. Despite his defeats, he never sought help or permission. But at every desperate moment, the Titan would eventually take over one half of his body. The union of man and god. A flawed and clumsy choreography.
Wait, one half of his body. So does it take half and then the second half? Or does it take half and then a quarter? And then an eighth? And then a 16th? And then a 32nd? How does it work?
It happened but once. A perfect harmony. One man, one god, speaking in one breath.
Stop stepping forward at the same time as me.
The Titan once revealed the secrets of mixing life. A boon seemingly a blessing, but full of malice.
What a tempting bait. But that's not my desired chalice.
Divine power is within his reach, but the scholar is not moved by that essence. This long and abnormal temptation is also a trial of elevation. For the sage can achieve all things, but shortcuts alone he abhors with silence.
Teacher, in this tumultuous world, have you thought about your will?
It was just a joke, but the scholar still at the grove answered with extreme caution. He has much to say about his posthumous affairs, exhausting all, fearing the smallest omission.
Teacher, could it be that you fear death?
The assistant asks in concern. It was a question needed, yet he gave no direct reply.
Philosophy is the inquiry into death, and I have always considered myself a philosopher.
The assistant recounts all the scholar's final wishes, each mighty as a mountain, asking what seemed impossible.
The tombstone must be made of my treasured rare stones, carved with Dromus patterns.
But that stone is a miracle of alchemy. Tough beyond measure, no chisel could have shaken.
That's also his plan.
The assistant softly reveals the hidden plot.
He hopes that instead of shedding tears over his death, we will find it in us to smile, even in a moment of sorrow.
It's rumored that in the depths of the grove, the scholar left a teaching ingenium, imitating himself to the utmost detail.
Go back. The living have not exhausted their thoughts. Go back. The dead have no desire to teach their works.
The ingenium's words are cold and detached, like the deceased man himself.
But if you have no one to talk to, fine. You can sit and converse.
Even in death, he is an asshole. I feel that Anaxa and Herta would have been great friends. I think if Anaxa was able to live for a few more lifetimes, he could have a conversation with Herta. But Anaxa to Herta would have been a puppy. Like, Anaxa to Herta is like a monkey playing with rocks and learning that you could use one rock to chip another rock and chip it to make it sharp so you can open a coconut. It's amusing, but only for about 20 seconds. I'll leave a note of that one so you can find it.
Now, the grove is no longer bustling, and the scholar has returned to dust. Thus, few in this world now know how he was also troubled by solitude in life.
The way she said bustling, it makes it sound like Tingyun. Is this Tingyun's VA?
Someone once suggested,
perhaps your ambition should also find its place among your final wishes.
Pointless notion.
He dismissed in derision.
Unveiling the countenance of the gods is a task for the living.
Perhaps that is his haughty position. Such a melancholy topic, yet he insists on feigning a twist, avoiding it altogether. Perhaps these chapters should not be retained. Most are from the scholar's handwritten drafts, shown without his permission. Yet there seems to be a voice there in remonstration.
It's just the past. What harm is there in revelation?
Even in passing, his hubris still resounds in reverberation.
The smaller a thing is, the more it shows its weight. The more foolish my name is, the more glory my achievements will be in comparison.
That last part is just a bit weird. I understand the smaller a thing is, the more it shows his weight, yes, but it's like... Can we do the Castor Ice one just so I can, like, have a little bit of a character that I like? I'm sorry, I'm being that guy, but I like Castor Ice. She likes the animals. I'm just wondering, if Castor Ice met Blady, could he finally have eternal peace? Like, he could get a hug from Castor Ice. I know it feels like really weird, but it's like just going out peacefully like that. He's seeking death, like, and she's death. I mean, you know? At the moment, he's got Kafka looking after him and everything. But, you know, he could get what he wants. You know? And to be fair, Castor's boobs do look really soft. Oh my god, she gets 2 as well. Jesus, 2 for the price of 1. I was just saying that it got nothing in like the previous one, but like, yeah, let's go.
The two girls frolicked in the wheat fields, fleet as doe deer, making ripples in the shallow puddles and pools clear.
Wheat is symbolic of life and growth, by the way.
As dusk approaches, the exhausted girls collapse over the wheat heaps, talking about their longings and dreams of literature, love, and a journey through a world dear.
We can pause it a bit after this because this is the epilogue of every character we met since. They dead, so it's a lot of text. I don't disagree, but we've just started Castor Ice, so we gotta do it. You can't just like start and be like, yeah, fuck it, and then you come back later and you don't actually do it, and it's like, no, let's do the Castor Ice. Well, let it be the cherry on the cake.
Oh, Sky, slow your closing gaze. How I want to keep this moment in my hands forevermore.
On that day, the breeze was warm and gentle. At that time, death was soft and fair. The broken-winged butterfly falls by the window, bringing with it a scent of melancholy. The girl looks outside. The golden wheat fields rolled endlessly, stretching to the horizon. Holding to the chair, she tries to stand, only to find her legs trembling and feeble.
Don't worry, Pelixia.
Her older sister whispers beside her ear, and on her sister's shoulder, the girl weeps mournfully. And time thus becomes silent, painted with sighs only. When hearing the healer's diagnosis, the girl remained deathly still. Her eyes were already drained of tears, and her heart a wilted grave.
Every time she has something on her mind, she would tilt her head and look outside.
Her sister follows her gaze, seeing a barren field turned by wind into a desolate gray expanse. Till one day, When the girl looks outside, she sees a dash of dark blue, most brave.
It's a flower my sister planted.
Like the torrential river of life, it pours into the depths of her heart. The flower is called Antilla. Even in the Netherland, it's rumored to thrive.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
That seems to be its floriography. When the days are warm, the sister would take the girl on long journeys, through the flower fields, gazing upon rivers, napping amongst the grove. A discussion hearty.
After I die, I want to become an Antilla flower, and become the quietness in your soul.
A thoughtless word from the girl gains her a wrapping on her forehead most dainty.
Ah, the flower symbolism. That explains a lot.
Do not speak of dusk when you have yet to see the dawn.
Dew drops from the petals as wind pulls on the leaves, and the two of them sit in quietude. The girl asks for the means to tend the garden, and while her sister sounds concerned, her heart is relieved. But the concern is well-founded. The girl tripped and fell into a mire. She gazed directly into the eyes of death, in that dark pool bottom unperceived.
In that previous image, I was just thinking you've got Castrized Pelixa, and of course a wild Acheron appears. And so Blady wanting to die in a place such as that isn't so bad. And then all of a sudden a wild Acheron appears and just starts reading. I'm glad that they did not forget that she exists. Because for the love of God, she had really good story in not Plan Arcadia. That other Las Vegas place. Shit. Forgot the name. Ah!
I've been the weight upon my sister's wings.
The man now remembers a world he hasn't even started.
Let this
and forgets the one that has been.
Comes to rest.
The girl gives up her struggles, only to see a figure pierce through the water's surface.
To be fair, I've been to Plan Arcadia many times, but never to Pensacola. I've never been to Vegas. And I have no such desire, because I don't like the fake. I have no interest in it. I see the mechanisms. I see behind the curtain and the theater. I do not have that ignorance that I can enjoy the fakeness. I see all the mechanisms. I see the security, the lights, the gambling, the algorithm behind the machine. I see all of it. I cannot enjoy it for what it is. He that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow, and I am a very depressed man. I live vicariously through Hutchon. That's why I like her being happy. Because I simply cannot enjoy 99% of what exists in the world. I deconstruct it in my mind, and it is depressing.
I won't allow you to walk through the dusk alone, or enter the night of no reprieve.
Her sister sobs without end, and the girl has to gently hug her and softly relieve. And then, this distant memory turns bleary, difficult to retrieve. The river of souls flows to the other side, wrapped in the land's night. Broad, slow, an eternal and silent sight. It belongs to all in this world that has life, all of which flows downstream, converging as one. The master of the nether realm, Thanatos, enshrouds themselves and the souls within the moon cocoon. The dragon, born from the cocoon, carries the girl, soaring upstream the river of souls, defying its eternal flow.
So the dragon basically, whenever we summon Jeff, is essentially flying through upwards the River of Souls, coming out temporarily, exploding, and then returning to death, and then coming back. Wow. That is just majestic.
The River of Souls flows to the other side, wrapped in the land's night. Broad, slow, an eternal and silent sight. It belongs to all in this world that has life, all of which flows downstream, converging as one. The master of the nether realm, Thanatos, enshrouds themselves and the souls within the moon cocoon. The dragon, born from the cocoon, carries the girl, soaring upstream the River of Souls,
I got so absorbed that I didn't realize it was replaying. I was just visualizing everything in my head. I just got so absorbed in it. I'm sorry. I just got so absorbed in the visual. Oh my god. That is exceptionally rare for me to happen. But because in the background you can see the moon and the flowers, I was able to leverage that and imagine it. But with words alone, I would not be able to imagine it. I lack that part of the brain. I cannot create anything that it is new, but I can use that which is existing. Which is why I require visuals. Once I see a character, I hear a voice, I see something, then you can tell me something and I can imagine it. But without that, I cannot just create it out of thin air.
Their connection flows tighter than blood, and the key that opens the Netherworld's gates is the sisters' selfish plight. Back then, the boreal winds cut through to the bone. Back then, death was a bitter and stabbing fright.
You know what's really funny? My cousin ended up stabbing himself in the hand not too long ago. He was cutting meat, and he actually stabbed into the bone. And he ended up going into shock and shit. And I wasn't there for that. He was telling me about it a day or two. And it's the first time he did something like that. And I've been in that position a few times. And it was like telling me about it and everything. And it was such an interesting thing. It's very similar to this. It's such a cold, uneasy. It's really weird to become comfortable in such a place. It's like tiptoeing between life and death, where you feel like you'll slip into unconsciousness and never wake up again, but then you can anchor yourself back to consciousness and stop yourself from like passing out. It's weird. It's really dark. Let's not go there.
In the Netherrealm, without an earth or sky, a flower named Antilla blooms, its beauty witnessed by but one soul.
You are the quiet in my heart, amidst the chaotic choreography.
The younger sister scores through the blooming Antilla fields, never finding that promised dark blue sprig. She silently made up her mind.
Death, leave all your dark nights to me, and save the dawns for her.
The younger sister gazes at the moon cocoon high above, and plans a trip to the mortal realm, a distant flurry. A bard once sung to musical notes.
Do not turn back. Oh, do not turn back. The long hand of shadow will retain the dead behind their gates.
The giant dragon born from the moon cocoon willingly offered itself as the enduring barge of the River of Souls.
No need to turn back. Oh, no need to turn back. That price had long been paid for you by someone else.
The dragon lowers its long neck and places the girl on its back. In slumber, she will unknowingly greet the dawn of her rebirth. The dragon flaps its wings in the chilly gloom of the floating dead upstream, ferrying from purity into grime, going from silence into roaring boom. The souls of countless poets flounder past, their distant rhymes endless like foams.
Do not turn back, for to look toward the land of mortals is in itself turning back.
In this pale dawn, the sun's first rays light the night ablaze. So the dragon crosses the sea of souls onto the shores of life and strands itself in the gleam. We know not where these stories arise. They are scattered across the shallows with the waves. The confession the girl made before her departure still echoes in the tide's heaves.
If there is anything for me to leave behind, may it find a soul to remember. This is the ode of my life, and I've already penned my last stroke.
It's such a mistake to experience this without the voices. I can understand people wanting to rush into it. And I had that feeling when I really wanted to watch the new episodes of Spice and Wolf with the Japanese dub. And don't get me wrong, the Japanese dub is great. The VAs are great. But there is a certain magic to just being able to experience it with the voices that you understand, and you can just focus on the visuals while the audio, you just, in the background, it's automatic. It's just, it's different. It's different. Only English VA, so Hoya didn't care much too. I know, Hoya doesn't give a shit. The English is just like, man, whatever the fuck. Right, it's just a little extra. If we make a little bit off them, fuck them. I get that. They just gotta milk the Chinese people because there's like 1 billion of them. And they all just use their mobile phones, and they live in these little, like... There's like 8 people to a bedroom in China. People literally work all day, they just have a mobile phone, and they just have a little bed. A little bunk bed. And that's why everything is mobile-based. They do not have a TV, they do not have a console, they don't have anything. And they buy phones for like 40, 50 bucks. Because, like, they're all, like, you know, bootleg shit, right? That's why that exists. And that's why freemium exists. It's just to milk them. It's like, yeah, you will never touch a real woman in your life, but here is a magical girl that loves you in-game. You know, like, it's late-game capitalism dystopia. It's literally what it is. It really is a hellhole. Like, China is a hellhole. It is hell on earth. Like, you must roll a 1 on a 20-sided dice to be born in China as someone that isn't rich. Like, you're basically fucked. Your existence is hell. If I rolled that, I would just kind of want to choose death and try again. Honestly. Honestly. At that point, and I've been through a bad childhood, but like, that is probably considered a 4 out of 20. You know? Africa, China, India, a lot of poor countries in Southeast Asia, and like all that stuff is just you just fucked. Change that quest. We probably won't have time to do any quest. But one thing that did happen, we got our E3 Silver Wolf. Yay. Probably unemployed, unfortunately, because Welt is E3 pushing on E4. He's actually pretty lucky in the relics that he has. They're pretty decent. But the thing is, I got to try to get these. And so I'm working on it, because apparently this 4-piece uses the ultimate action forwarded. So I'm trying to get pieces for him slowly, because we will use them at some point. It seems slowly pieces are coming together, but we'll see how it goes. He's got this very nice Lushaka that he got yesterday. The Tanuki delivered. Big time. And he's got a very nice energy regen one, which unfortunately got a little bit fudged. But we cannot complain. Yeah. And our good friend Blady. He, the first man I ever pulled. Not bad. A little bit fudged, but not horrible. Unfortunately, getting a Lushaka for him is hard because he got this. Like, this is a very nice one. So I think I'm going to keep him in DPS. Yeah. Can't complain. Yeah. Very strong. Ooh, this might need a reroll. If this had 5, this would be perfect for blocking. Like, anything with a 5 with 3 out of 4 substats is, like, perfect for blocking. But unfortunately, we won't get that. So he's very strong. One thing that I do really want to do, because I really... Oh, 3 days, and we get a new character. Yay. And I'm hunting down my Stellar Jades for the HSR Creator Program, because they don't do it properly, and they manually insert it. I'm, like, hunting down, like, put the Stellar Jades in the basket sort of thing, because I need my pulse. We're out of these ones. I'm keeping these in reserve just in case something comes out. I keep them in reserve just in case something comes out, but I'm not going to waste my... I can't believe they didn't change... You know what gets me? They didn't change Jeff, and they didn't change Sam. Lazy as shit. But they knew that the China boys would buy these with a month's worth of salary. That's what gets me. Maybe there's a reason why they rolled a 1 out of 20. Anyways, I don't want to spend the golden ones. Got 4 golden ones, thanks to Bronya. Not going to pull the trigger on this, because I have a feeling there is going to be a new healer or a shielder for Elation, so no. Don't have to buy any of these anymore, because I can buy them with these. I've got enough for 3. But, you know how it is. I was always saving these to be able to buy one. I don't have to worry about it. Yeah. I think the seal one is a best in slot. Increases the wearer's crit while the wearer is in battle for every 10 speed. I think this is her best in slot. So I think later if I start using her, I might get it for her. But I'm not going to rush into anything because I don't know what's going to happen. And as they release more and more characters, you're going to be able to get more and more light cones in here. And you can even get now Silver Wolf's one, so you don't have to pull for it and stuff like that. So the longer I wait, the better it's going to be. I'm in no rush to spend this currency. I am in no rush to spend this currency either. You know, just sitting on it and be a good boy. Sitting on it and being a good boy. So we're waiting for this. We got that. We got that. Got basically screwed. I've almost got 60 of these. And I believe I've got no pity. At least with Sam's costume, Sam's color changes. They actually remove the scar's sickness. Fair enough. Yeah, and I've got 0 pity. But I kind of feel like pulling this. So let's do this quick little pull and we'll wrap it up. Let's do this. I'll do this little pull in a second, because where we are currently with our challenge modes, I'm going to get that cycle 3 with the Memo Sprite team once I get S5 of the Herta Light Cone. I got it up to 1% HP. Herta Light Cone is going to give me an extra 2% damage for the entire team plus speed. That's going to give an extra 1% damage, no problem. And the rest of these are fine. What's the current pity at Standard Banner? 0! We just looked at it. 0! And in about 16 hours, that Lycone's going to come my way. In Currency Wars, it is literally unplayable on the phone. It is literally unplayable on the phone. Like, on the phone, this whole screen is just unplayable. Freaking unplayable. Freaking unplayable. On the mobile screen, the orbs are basically half the screen. And so I can't actually click anything. Because the orbs are just taking half the screen. It's fudged. It is literally fudged. And I'm just trying to do as many achievements as possible. So I'll probably do it next week. I'll leave for now. So I'll probably do it next week because I'm trying to maximize whatever the hell this is. There's no Stellar Jades to be gotten, but like I'll maximize this crap. By the way, Tessa said she is done with her AA. But you will do it after your 3.4. I don't know, maybe whatever. I just want to get Tessa more Stellar Jades because she's looking after me in Genshin Impact. I want to look after her and whatever else I can do. It's only fair, right? Yeah. There is a reason. Probably a boss. I'll be able to play a boss or something and not have to auto battle it. Whatever. But yeah, I've got 0 pity. I would like to hopefully get another welt. I will probably, unfortunately, either get another Bronya or a Jeppy or a Clara LC. Because that's what seems to be happening. Bellaborg is just biting me with a vengeance. But for some reason, I never get a Clara. I only get a Clara LC. I get a Jeppy LC or a Jeppy. And I get a Bronya, but never a Bronya LC. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting screwed. But we'll have our fun. Let's see if we can get it in under 50. And let's do a little bit of a gambling thing. I've got my thing open so I can do a prediction. Start a prediction. Can I get a 5-star in under 50 pulls? You guys love to gamble. Let us gamble. Let's do this. Prediction started. I'll give it 10 seconds before I start just so no one can cheat. Because if I pull and it's the 5-star, people are going to be like, haha, I cheated. I'm not going to let people cheat. I don't want to do that. It's not nice. So I'll be like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can you do me a favor and rub the Tanuki's balls? That might help me. Rub the Tanuki's balls. Because if I get a welt, E4, at a low number, I will be a happy chappy. I'll be a really, really happy chappy. And you can't get any of the other characters here. It's just like the standard banner. Well, Bronya, Japard, Bailu, Clara. Yeah. Yeah, it's just these. A Tanuki demands a statue in your next Japan trip. Well, I didn't encounter a single statue in this trip. And I was in Tokyo. Balls rubbed. Alright, keep rubbing them. Just keep rubbing them non-stop. He likes those balls getting rubbed. Nothing. Oh shit, 3 light cones. I would have preferred 3 characters, but Ra found one. Yes. Ra also went to Kyoto and Osaka and other places. Oh, I got one character. Cool. Let's go with like 3 characters, like refund most of my stuff. 20. Another character. How about 3 characters? 30. I smell smoke. Is my house burning down? 30. If my house is burning down, I'm blaming the Tanuki. 40. Oh! Please! Please! The Welt E4, please, Tanuki, please! $31. 32. Fucking told you! Fucking Clara LC again! That's like the 4th one! I tell you! How? Stop taking photos, you little shit. How? How? There's another fucking 2 sitting here. That's the 4th one. How? How? It's the 4th fucking one. Increase the wearer's attack by 36. When the wearer defeats an enemy or hit, it immediately restores 11 of the wearer's attack. At the same time, the wearer's damage is increased by 36%. Can they just, like, buff Clara or something? Because normal Clara never drops. I had to use my, like, free 5-star character to get Clara. But if this is the case, can they just buff Clara? Or make this the best in slot for a new character? Like, Silver Lining, at least make this useful for someone. Make it useful for Gilgamesh or something. Make this, like, the second, like, best in slot can be his Lycone, and this be, like, the second best one or something. Like, give me a Silver Lining somewhere. Please. Because at the moment, I'm just looking at this and going, why? And S4, the thing is probably best in slot for some characters compared to S1. I understand, but I want the S1 version of this to be a second best thing, so I feel better about it. Because at the moment, this thing's just eating my Stellar Jades. Just going. I believe Clara still holds up in pure fiction. Yeah, but you say that about a lot of characters in like ZZZ as well, and that's a waste of resources, so let's not do that. Just because someone holds up doesn't mean I should actually level them with my options on hand. But I would absolutely love for it to be the second best for a destruction character. Somewhere. Because for the love of God. Who do I have destruction-wise? She's destruction, but she's got this. Damage 24 lasts for 2 turns. 36 defeats an enemy, immediately restore HP. Same time the wearer damage is increased until the end of the turn. This effect cannot stack. If that effect could stack, it would be the greatest thing ever. You know why? Because she gets to attack again. So, increase the wearer's attack by 16 in the battle. This can stack 4 times. That's the thing. Whereas this is 36. Increase damage by 36 after she defeats someone. So if you're clearing waves, this is probably better. If you're clearing waves. But if you're like hitting a boss that isn't going to die in one go, this is probably better. But legit, if Clara got buffed and she got brought up to the strength of the current characters, and then we pop this on her, she might be like, you know what I mean? But I need a destruction character that really likes that. Because, frankly, I don't think I have many destruction characters. And, of course, Jingu Bescu, I love it a bits. But other than that, oh, okay. But she's got her one, so. This shit was bait. This shit was bait. This shit was bait. We did this shit to get the free Archer Lycone. That was bait. He wasn't bait. You know who else was bait? Where's Sparksy? Sparksy's bait. She was bait big time. Yeah, she's Hunt. Sparksy was bait. That whole music video and everything was bait. We got baited. She's useless. We got baited. We totally got baited. We got baited all the way. We'll have to do this at some point. This we've done. This we've done. Yeah. Prepare for the same thing with Rin and Gilgamesh Banner. Oh no, I'm 100%. The only good thing is if they give you, like, do X amount of pulls and you get a Lycone out of it. That's the only reason why I went for Saber. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't have gone for Saber right away. Because I didn't need it right away. That's the thing. And then we pulls, and I think Clara was at 33. Clara, Elsie at 33. Yeah, that was just happened again. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. I think this is a good stopping point because next time we can legit go into the story without having to read anything. Good summary, good to bring me up to speed. I got to really quickly do my Genshin dailies, or maybe I give that to... Actually, I'll give that to Tessa. I'll give that to Tessa. I'll let her know. Stam is all yours if you want it. is all yours if you want it. Problem is I can't log into Tessa's accounts on PlayStation, so the only thing that I can do is hook up the laptop, which actually works surprisingly well if you do it on 30 FPS. And I wouldn't stream off the laptop. I'd put the laptop on top of the PC and like connect it the same way I do this. So it's usable. Laptop does the job really well on 30 FPS. But you don't really need over 30 FPS when you're doing like an endgame mode. It's like, man, I'm doing it anyway. Who gives a shit? We'll have Friday streams. We will do Friday. I am going to be busy all week as I always am, but I do want to get back into the cycle. But I am being good. I'm getting shit done. I'm doing a lot of taxation. Doing some sales of properties and getting commissions, as well as doing construction. And we just did our mate's farewell. That's going to not Norway. No, he's going to Norway. Yeah, he's going to Norway to live with his girlfriend. And he's going to get married, and he's going to work the land. He's going to get a farm in Norway and be able to work the land. Living his dream of being a Viking. Morning at the same time as before. It's probably going to be for Fridays, afternoons. Reason being, Friday mornings I'm going to be doing construction. And Saturday mornings I'm also going to be doing construction. So those are construction days. Sunday, if I do it in the morning, will probably be a stream. But yeah, when I'm doing construction, it's mornings. But I have been trying to get myself to wake up at early times. It's really hard for me, but if I do that, hopefully I can catch more people from Europe. Because it'll be like 11 for them rather than like midnight. Or maybe even earlier. I'll try to do my best to give the Euro people a little bit of a chance to catch us live. But yeah. No, it's been good. It's been fun. But for the love of God, give Clara a Nova Flare so I can use her. Unfortunately, I just cannot use her. She's just not there, you know? Just not there, unfortunately. But a lot of fun. We are definitely going to end up doing Tessa's AA. Am I going to be able to do the AAs? What are the bosses? I was allowed to do the clown, so thankfully. I was apparently allowed to do pom-pom. I was sort of allowed to do this, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Fucking know. And the bug. So I could do tests. Oh! Because Finan. Right. I was thinking about it the wrong way. I was thinking about the bosses rather than the characters. So I'm guessing I'm going to be able to use Finan. Finally, Finan is going to do something. Fuck. It's been so long. God, my balls have been sitting on ice since that motherfucker had his debut. Yeah, you can try out all the battles except that one. Fuck. My balls have been blue for the longest time. At this point, if it doesn't blow me away, I'm going to be so disappointed. I shit you not. I shit you not. I've been not allowed to touch that motherfucker for so long that if he doesn't blow me the fuck away, I'm gonna hate him. I'm gonna hate him. So it better be good. It better be good. And if it turns into some, I transform into the black hooded guy, I'm gonna be like, ah, you motherfucker. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I did fuck up with the Firefly thing. We were on stream, and I would always borrow an Acheron. And that one time, because for the stream I wanted to mix it up, I just grabbed the schoolgirl and I fucked up. Because at that time it was like Acheron, schoolgirl, and everyone was using... What's her name? The one that works for the IPC, forgot her name. But you get my point. Topaz. Those were like the three that everyone was using, and they were like renting like bronya and other shit. And I was always using Acheron. And that time I mixed it up and I fucked up. Next banner of Finan and Cyrene, so you can check out both of the trials next patch. Yeah. Jade? Oh, I think some people had Jade, but I never played her. I had Jade and shit, but like those are the three that I remembered. And so I ended up picking the schoolgirl because I wanted it to be less boring for people on stream, and I fucked up. Shit happens, right? Shit happens. Shit happens. Shit happens. Penacony was the one part of the story that I got spoiled for. Shit happens. Shit happens. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Anyway, we'll see. We will see. We will see. If Finan is like the thing, then we'll have Finan on Friday, which isn't bad. Which is like 5 days from now, and this is going to be a fucking busy week for me, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be the end of the week. after construction's done, and hopefully after I've done the major part of taxation paperwork and stuff, and probably solved some other issues, but it's gonna be fun. And we seem to have a sort of like goalpost for moving to Japan in October. That's a goalpost, but Hutchin's able to film from Japan, so that's not a problem. I found that I can buy computer parts here and just buy a computer case in Japan and just build one, so that's not a problem. I found what I can do with the housing here, so I can still have a studio here. That's not a problem. I can maintain this studio, and my cousin can move upstairs from downstairs, and so this room here, an ensuite, stays. The bedroom where we are stays, and that turns into a guest bedroom or a place where we stay. And my cousin uses Hutchin's studio as his bedroom and uses my office area as his office area, and he could basically inherit my gym. And he's like, fuck yeah, I want the gym. I'm like, I'll do you one better. I'll build a power rack. My mate returned it. I'll build a power rack in the garage. My cousin also has a sauna. We will literally take the sauna and rebuild it in the garage. So in the garage, he will have my power rack. We will put the sauna, and I'll even put like a bench press there. And so he'll have a couple of benches in here, and then in the garage he'll have a sauna, a power rack. Like he's fucking happy about it, right? He's just like, fuck yeah. I'm like, yeah, cool. And the only catch is like, hey, if I have to come back here and help with construction, I have a place to sleep and have a studio to work. And Hutchin's computer will end up getting moved back here in the studio, which was like next to me. So like we found a good thing we can do. We build our shit in Japan. We're probably ending up renting a house or an apartment there, build a studio there. It's going to be good in the hood. I mean, the travel prices have more than doubled now because, you know, the whole war thing. But like, it is what it is, right? Like, that can't be the thing that stops you from moving somewhere. You bite the bullet, you pay double the ticket price. What the fuck do? You just do it, right? So, shit's moving. Shit's going in the right direction. Shit's fun. Shit's good. Life is looking better. Feeling better. So, like, let's keep that shit up. Yeah, and we have a lot of hours. If I can turn this screen. I'll turn the screen on and I'll try to put the desktop so you guys can see. We have a lot of hours. We did the donation drive with the double hours leading up to me leaving, which was during the HSR anniversary. So HSR has a lot of hours. I believe 96. I'm just changing the screen right now. Give me a second. When I change it, I'll be able to show the desktop. I believe it is 96 hours. And other games have a few hours as well. So that is going to be very fun. So let me do this. Let me open up this. Give me a sec. I open up the voting chambers. Open up this and I can show you desktop. Yeah, here we go. So, 93 hours. So HSR has 93 hours. Genshin has 96. I knew one of them. Wow, Genshin has more than HSR. Huh. Genshin has 96. ZZZ has 20. Honkai Third Impact has 3. I don't know if I'm going to play the opening of the game or just do trailers. I don't know. We'll discuss with you guys. Reactions are on 0. Love and D-Space is on 3 hours. We'll figure out whether that's going to be playing the opening thing or watching the videos. Horse Waifu Racing Simulator, kind of the same question. YouTube series. A lot of fun in the sun coming up. I think it's going to be fun. Anyway, guys, we ended there. I'll be on Discord during the week. We've done our little weekly requirement before Tuesday. So I've done my videos. TikTok is broken. So it's not actually even showing my videos to people. TikTok is just broken. Screw TikTok. The only thing they're pushing now is propaganda because it's run by the US government. But anyway. Twitter is surprisingly working and I'm getting enough views to get Stellar Jades and Polychromes. So that's good. So yeah, let's just keep farming that. I think the ZZZ tracker is broken and their support team for ZZZ is non-existent. At least the HSR has to create a support team. ZZZ is just like in a hole. Hoyo's just like not giving a shit about that. They're not putting any money in that for the Western creators or anything. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll be on Discord during the week. We'll have our stream on Friday. We'll have our weekend streams as originally scheduled. Our next stream is actually tomorrow on Monday, the reaction stream. So that is going to be good. We're probably going to run out of time because we've got Invincible and we've got the boys and those are chunky monkeys. And then we'll probably end up the following week doing ReZero because definitely I want to see the fucking ending to Invincible. I do not want to get spoiled. And the boys, I definitely don't want to get spoiled as well. Like, those are big. Even my mates yesterday were like, oh, I haven't watched The Boys, but I've seen the shorts. I'm like, I haven't seen it. Shut up. For every spoiler, I stab you once. You know? So, gotta be. You were not spoiled yet? No, I was not. That's the good thing about being in Asia and Europe. No one gives a shit about TV shows. That's the beautiful thing. No one gives a shit about them. We also got the finale of Amazing Internet Circus. Cool. I was going to edit and start uploading those on YouTube, but I didn't end up uploading them. So now it's like the perfect time to do it. And I will not read the comments because I do not want to get spoiled. But I did send out merchandise to the people, which I have been wanting to send out for ages. So it's not the merchandise that I have here, but it is merchandise that I had. This was the stockpile I had in Japan. I sent it out to people. So that should be arriving, I hope, soonish. And I hope they'll let me know as it arrives. And I kept all the little price tags in the original packaging. So no one can say, oh, this is 20 bucks. It's like, no, 220 yen. That's the price. 550 yen. That's the price. 100 yen. That's what you like. You can't bullshit, right? Fuck the EU and fuck the EU tariffs. You know, fuck those motherfuckers. They can't bullshit. And I've still got the pins and shit. I'll bring it with me to the Japan and stuff. But like, I've sent stuff out to the people that I needed to send stuff out to years ago. It's good because there's Danganronpa merch now because they're actually doing Danganronpa merch, so it's good. Even with my Twitter being mostly Japanese stuff, you got spoiled in Tokyo. It's your fault for being on Twitter in the first place. I already sent that thing too. Now waiting for the tracking code that I can send to Tessa and Fab. Nice. Hopefully they receive it. Just make sure the stuff doesn't get broken because there's a fragile item for Fab in there. Make sure you wrap it up nicely. I don't want it to break. It's important. Anyway, guys, I'm on Discord. As always, you can find me there. I'm there too much, probably. I'm going to be there in about 30 seconds. So I will see you guys there. I will see you guys tomorrow for the reactions. If you don't watch the reactions, I will see you on Friday, probably for more HSR. And then the weekend, we'll see if we can start Expedition 33. And then, again, of course, Monday reactions. So I will see you guys there. Ninja Kuma out. Bye.